California lawmakers are headed out to Hawaii now for a week-long policy conference. This is 94% of Californians are being told to stay home and avoid indoor gatherings as part of the state's restrictive COVID-19 guidelines. But it's not just this upcoming conference. We told you also about Governor Gavin Newsom, who got caught breaking his own rules when he went to a fancy dinner at the French Laundry, a very pricey restaurant in Napa Valley, with people from different households, a total of 12 people. You're not allowed to have 12 people. Here was his apology yesterday.
The spirit of what I'm preaching all the time was contradicted, and I got to own that. And so I want to apologize to you because I need to preach and practice, not just preach and not practice. And I've done my best to do that. We're all human. We all fall short sometimes.
Joining us now is the host of the Rubin Report, Dave Rubin, author of the book, Don't Burn This Book, Thinking for Yourself in the Age of Unreason. Dave, I got to admit, a little cathartic to watch Gavin Newsom's apology. I almost believed him. Almost.
We're all human, John.
Yes.
I'm actually not quite sure he's human, but I'm only half kidding when I say this. I might run for governor of California. I can't take it anymore. I have absolutely had it with this person. And you know what? I was just discussing it with my producer. My platform, we're not going to have anything on a website or anything. It's literally going to be if Gavin Newsom says something or wants to do something, my platform is just the complete opposite. This guy is the worst sort of disingenuous, hypocritical buffoon that thinks that he should have power over us. Mm-hmm. People have really just had it. You know, John, we've discussed this before. This guy was the mayor of San Francisco. He destroyed San Francisco. There is nobody on planet Earth that thinks what is going on in San Francisco is good, but then what happens in the world of progressive politics, you fail up. And, you know, now he's governor of California, and then eventually he'll probably be president of the United States. This is just ridiculous. And by the way, French Laundry, I've tried to go there. You have to get reservations months in advance. I tweeted out yesterday that it's $400 a plate. I have a friend who's a very popular food blogger, and she told me you can't walk out of there for under $1,000 a plate.
Yeah, Thomas Keller is a chef. It's on my bucket list of places I've always wanted to go, to the French. And we're not, you know, there's nothing wrong with the French Laundry. It's, you know, great place. Everybody should have the opportunity to go there. But when Gavin Newsom is telling people they can't have Thanksgiving, and then he's having, you know, dinner at the French Laundry with 12 people, it's a little too much for everybody to take. And you mentioned the California political machine, one-party rule. They have these little fiefdoms that get handed down. You know, I think it has a lot to do with Gavin Newsom's hair. That's why he became governor. He looks the part. No, I'm serious. In California, that matters so much, Dave. He looks the part.
If that's the case, how am I doing? What do you think?
I mean, you got it going on. You know, there's a couple producers that mentioned that they like your look. I'm gonna leave it at that. All right.
I'll take it. That sounds worthy of being governor then.
In California, that's apparently all it takes. But we're also seeing restrictions. You know, in Philadelphia, they're going above and beyond here. The city of brotherly love is banning nearly all indoor gatherings for the rest of the year. They call it safer at home. They go into effect Friday. But again, you know, talking to people in Philadelphia, I expect there to be some serious backlash.
Oh, well, there should be backlash, and people deserve to know what's going on. March, remember March? It was a lifetime ago. We were told 2 weeks to flatten the curve. We're about 9 months later than that right now. And now we're being told no Thanksgiving. Jake Tapper wants to cancel Christmas. The point is that if any of this was sensible, if any of our elected officials were doing anything sensible, what they would be doing is showing us evidence. Hey, guys, when we do lockdowns, we see numbers that drop to this level, and we see deaths that drop to this level. And then when we open up, we know after a few weeks that things spike. But they don't tell us anything. They just go from crisis to crisis, and time just keeps marching forward. And then we'll be rolling into the new year, and they'll be telling us, oh, now we need a federal lockdown, and you people in Montana should be under the same regulations as someone in New York City. And none of it makes sense. And I think that what this all boils down to is that we just don't have enough brave people. Where is everybody standing up and saying enough is enough? That's not to diminish the real COVID numbers.
Right.
Of course, I know people that have gotten COVID, and actually they were all roughly, say, within 15 years of my age, and everybody recovered. But of course, some people are going to die just as some people die of the flu. But the point is, we've decided to destroy the American way of life in name of fear, basically,
right.
and it can't go on much longer.
Right, it goes against human nature, and that's the issue here. It just doesn't work. People aren't willing to do these things when you have California lawmakers going to Hawaii on a boondoggle and Gavin Newsom having dinner at the French Laundry. And also, it doesn't help, too, when you have members of the world's most deliberative body, they're supposed to be the best of the best, bickering about mask wearing on the floor of the Senate. Look at this.
Start by asking the presiding officer to please wear a mask as he speaks, and people below him are, I can't tell you what to do, but I know that the behavior...
I don't wear a mask when I'm speaking, like most senators.
Well, most senators...
So I'll put it on, but I don't need your instruction from...
I know you don't need my instruction, but there clearly isn't much interest in this body in public health.
Oh, there you go. Doesn't set a good example either, does it?
They're so self-righteous. Like, he wasn't within 6 feet of anybody. Yeah. You know, as you just mentioned, we got California lawmakers, as if California is not nice enough. They can't find one place to go in California. They got to go to Hawaii for meetings. The ruling class, they're just like throwing it all in our faces right now. It's really bizarre. And this is one of the things, you know, I'll ask people, well, can you name 3 politicians you like? And basically nobody can. And yet we still think that if we could just let them have more of our money or give them more power or let them tell us what we can do in our homes for Thanksgiving, that somehow that system is going to work. We need, look, if I sound a little radical in that I'm against lockdowns, I think it's possible that I'm being a little over the top here because we need people to push back. And they're constantly taking in a very effective way. And I think we need to start pushing back in a more effective way. And John, I know I'm a crazy freedom guy. I believe that people can make decisions for themselves.
Well,
I know it's bananas.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what our whole country is about. You know, personal responsibility, letting people make these decisions themselves. You know, especially when it doesn't work. You know, you have to try something different. Dave, I also wanted to talk to you a bit about Barack Obama's new book out today, A Promised Land. I know you already downloaded it, all 800 pages. But I want to focus first on the New York Times book review because they love the book and the author. It starts with this, quote, Barack Obama is as fine a writer as they come. It's not merely that this book avoids being ponderous, as might be expected, even forgiven of a hefty memoir, but it's that it nearly always is pleasurable to read, sentence by sentence, the prose gorgeous in places, the detail granular and vivid. I think granular and vivid being the operative words there. 800 pages, and this is only part 1, Dave. Who asked for this?
Well, I think he got a big house in Palm Springs, so I'm guessing.
Yes, and Martha's Vineyard, too, right? Don't forget.
Yeah, his banker probably asked for it, or his business manager or something. I mean, look, you know, I voted for Obama twice, and I should be judged accordingly. It was before my political awakening. It is what it is. But 800 pages, when you have had the entire media, the entire world establishment doing nothing but patting you on the back and giving you accolades and giving you Nobel Peace Prizes before you've done anything, it's absolutely absurd. I also find the timing of the drop, you know, publishing is a really weird thing in that you write books. Like, I finished my book almost a full calendar year before it actually came out. The fact that the book now came out between the election, that we still don't know what's going on, and we've got all these uncertified states, and the January 20th day that the new or remaining president sticks around, that just seems odd to me. Just everything just seems odd. The whole system seems completely out of whack right now.
Yeah, I mean, it also shows us, too, that he's out of touch. He really wants America to know how he thinks or why he thinks the way he thinks instead of, you know, talking about actual action. The New York Times also focuses on his obsession with Sarah Palin and the populist movement. But one thing, too, I think we also have to bring up here, and this is not an easy thing to talk about, Dave, but I think we got to talk about President Obama's playlists, and they need to stop. He released another playlist based, you know, for his book. You know, we can put it up on the screen. It's so, I think one of the words I heard used was pedestrian.
It's
really,
generic.
Philip Phillips, what is this? Is this a soundtrack for a Target? I don't know what we're looking at here.
But isn't that sort of what, like, the perfect lefty politician would put out there?
Yes.
It's like, you know, it was curated.
Focus grouped.
You know, they asked around. You know, they focus grouped it. As opposed to if Trump was asked what his favorite music is. I mean, I think Trump pretty much only knows one song, which is YMCA. He would just say YMCA on loop in perpetuity. Like, that would be it, but it would be more authentic. And that's what I always say about Trump. The funny thing is, you got this orange guy with the crazy hair, and he's more authentic than when you ask Barack Obama what his favorite music is, or Elizabeth Warren, I'm gonna get me a beer. I mean, these people, they're plastic, artificial humanoids, and we have to figure out what's going on here.
Yes, they come from the world of, intellectuals. They're not like you and I. And do you honestly expect me to believe that Barack Obama is got Brooks and Dunn Only in America queued up on his playlist? I really have a hard time believing that one.
Listen, I'll give him a little credit for having Fleetwood Mac on there. That's pretty impressive. And I think there was some Sinatra on there too. But yeah, it just feels like, oh, can we hit this box? Can we check this box?
Yep.
A little of Beyonce, a little of this, a little of that. And it's like most of us have much more interesting beliefs. John, I like chill ambient, by the way, on Pandora. That's the
well,
station
I will check out that station. I'm more of a classic rock guy myself, although I do delve
into... Journey? You like the Journey?
I do like Journey. I like Journey.
I love Journey.
But I often drift into Southern hip-hop, which surprises a lot of people. I grew up in Atlanta, influenced by that. Barack Obama, I think he also had Dreams in there instead of Rihanna, but they had to change it because of the Vibes guy. He took all the wind out of their sails, so they wanted to make sure they didn't look like they were being, deductive from the Ocean Spray guy. So that's the story behind that. And of course, I made all that up. But anyway, great to see you, Dave, as always. We'll see you on YouTube. We appreciate your time. Take care.
Yeah.
Newsmax TV is now America's fastest growing cable news channel. We give you the real news you need. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Newsmax TV streams live on YouTube for free. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.